Hi everyone, it's Natalie and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing the January book tag. I was tagged by the wonderful Cherry over at Cherry Actually Reads. So thank you very much, Cherry, for tagging me. And let's just get started with these tag questions. So the first question is, what was the last and first book you read last year? So I can't actually remember the first book I read in 2021. The one I have the closest memory of is of Fat Chance Charlie Vega by Cristal Maldonado, but I can pretty much promise you it wasn't the first one I read. But that's what I'm going with. That's what I'm going with. And then the last book I read was Asara, which is Asara Shakur's Autobiography. I know for a fact this was my last book of the year because it took me several months to read it by no fault of the books. And I was reading it on New Year's Eve, so I know for a fact that I finished it then. Okay, so I checked my reading spreadsheet because I could not resist the temptation. But apparently the first book I finished in 2021, because I'm pretty confident it wasn't the first book I started, was Her Night with Santa by Adriana Herrera. So yeah, I was never going to remember that. I really was not. The second question is, what is your first read this year? So for me, this is kind of like a dual question because there is a difference between the first book I started reading this year and the first book I actually finished. So the first book I started, man, I just remembered that I should have grabbed it from my room, but I'll just put a picture, is Olga Dais Dreaming. So I'm still in the middle of this book. I kind of had to put it on pause because I had to read some arcs and other stuff, but I have been really enjoying it. I just haven't finished it. But then the first book I have finished was actually a reread, and it is Binding a Page by Key Dyson and Raymond Roach. So y'all have been here a while. Y'all know I'm obsessed with this novella. I was kind of struggling a bit with the dissatisfaction over the fact that I hadn't finished a book and it had been 1 week into the new year. And so I was like, I'm just going to pick this up because it's short, sweet, and I will get the satisfaction of having finished something. And so indeed I did that, and I'm very happy that I did because I just love this short story / novella because I love me my vampire goodness. So question 3 is to share 3 of your reading goals for this year. So I'm just going to go through all of them because I originally was going to make a video where I talked about my reading goals, but I have not. So by the time I get around to filming that and posting it, it will be too late. So I might as well just talk about it now. So the first goal would be to read 50 books this year. I'm already way on the path towards surpassing that, but I'm about to start student teaching, so pretty confident that will take a lot of my energy and my reading will slow down. So I still might end up reading more like 70 books this year, but we shall see. We shall see. So for now, I'm doing the conservative number of 50, and if I surpass that, then I will increase it as needed. And then my second goal is to continue reading the backlist of authors I really enjoy. Last year, I was kind of, I don't know. Like, I read some of them, but I didn't read nearly as much as I wanted. And that is also because I had a very specific list of authors. And so this year, I'm just modifying that goal so that I'm just reading books by authors I have previously enjoyed. And if it has been an author I've read before and it's a backlist release, then automatically it fits and satisfies this reading goal. So that's it, because I really did chaotically with that reading goal last year. And then my other goal is to continue working through my physical and digital TBR because I'm at about 100 something books on that. So I need to get on it. The good thing is that I'm basically on a semi book buying ban because I really don't have the cash flow to be buying books. So Literally, I'm just going to become besties with the library if I have to be, and just focus on my owned books, because there's just no room. There is no room to be getting even more books. So unless someone is gifting them to me, or I'm getting them from the publisher, or whatever, it's just not happening. It's just not happening, especially in the first half of the year. Like, hopefully once I get a full-time job as a teacher in the fall, I will have more cash flow and I will start buying books. But until then, at most probably I'll get one book a month, and even then, hopefully, the number is 0. Another of my reading goals is to participate in the Buzzword Reading Challenge. Last year, I started out really strong, and then it all fell through the cracks by the end of the year. But regardless, I'm going to put my best effort into getting that done. I'm already behind because I still haven't picked up the one for January, but I'm really hoping to. I'm going to pick up a novella, so I'm really hoping that I manage to read that before the month ends. And last year, another of my reading goals was to read certain books in series, to continue the series or finish them. And I feel lukewarm about that one as well. Like, I did make some progress, but I also did not make as much progress as I would have liked. So, not totally a fail, but not totally a win. And yes, it does kind of continue to be one of my goals for this year, to finish or continue series, since I'm perpetually bad at it. I'm really good at starting series, but continuing them, not so much. But I actually have been pretty good at that with manga, so I'm just gonna try to keep that on a roll where I just keep up with at least my manga series. But really the goal is for the fantasy series I have started, that I should just continue them and finish them if they are completed by now. So we'll see. And basically, I combined that question with the 5th question, which is like, which goals did you not reach and which ones did I reach last year? So the only thing left to answer is that last year I put my reading goal, I think, at like 70 or 100, and I surpassed that because I read over 100 books. Okay, so I just quickly watched my reading goals video for last year, and the only other goal I had did have to do with book buying, which was to buy less ebooks. And I don't really feel like I succeeded at it, but I don't really feel like I failed at it either. I do feel like my book buying last year was out of control, but it wasn't because of the ebooks I was buying. I just got a lot of physical books. So overall, I already discussed that I'm in a book buying ban. So in general, I will not be getting nearly as many books as I was getting last year. We just cannot live life that way anymore. So the 4th question, since I skipped from 3 to 5, is what are 3 of your most anticipated releases of this year? So first and foremost, I have No Filter and Other Lies by Cristal Maldonado. I'm going to be participating in the Colored Pages book tour for this book. I'm so hype about that, like so incredibly hype. I cannot put it into words. And then also I have Ophelia After All by Raquel Marie. I am also super excited to pick this one up, and I also have an ARC for it. We shall see if I can stay on top of my ARC game, because I have been struggling, so we'll see. But super excited for that one. And then the 3rd one that comes to the top of my mind, but there are others, is the 3rd and last book in the Dreamers trilogy by Maggie Stiefvater. I have been a fan of Maggie Stiefvater for years now, and this series and the arcs of these characters are finally coming to an end. So I'm very excited about that, even though I'm also kind of sad about it at the same time. I'm ready for the series to end, while at the same time knowing I'll feel bittersweet about it by the end. The 6th question is, what are some new releases this year you've heard of but that you have no desire to read? So I'm terrible at this. Like, I don't really keep track of what I'm not interested in. Like, if I'm not interested in, like, Control-Alt-Delete, like, the file is gone from my mind. Like, genuinely, No. So like the most generic thing I can say is like if Sarah J. Maas has anything coming out this year, not interested. If Cassandra Clare has anything coming out this year, not interested. What are some other authors that if they have anything coming out, I'm not interested? See, I don't even know, y'all. I don't even know. So it is what it is. The 7th question is, what are some reading habits you want to change this year, if any? So for me, that is going to have to be that at some point I need to become more ruthless in my DNFing. Like, right now, I'm existing in this space where I have been reading some books that I can see the really, really good parts of it, but then the parts of it that are not really working for me. And I keep wanting to read the book in order to see how it all develops and how it all resolves. But like, really, I should just stop. I should just DNF them. And with the ones I'm thinking about in particular, part of the issue is that they're arcs, and I don't like DNFing arcs. So I don't know, y'all. I don't know. But I really have to start being more ruthless. Probably won't DNF the 2 arcs I'm currently in the middle of. But other books, I need to just be like, if it's not working for me, it's not working for me. It doesn't matter if certain aspects of it are good. If it's not giving me joy, or, just a reading experience I appreciate, then I should just let it go. The 8th question is, what are some adaptations you're looking forward to, if any? So I have zero awareness of adaptations going on right now. Like, most of the ones that I can think of off the top of my head probably won't even go into production this year. So like, much less are they actually going to come out. So I don't know if there's going to be a new season of Shadow and Bone this year, but if there is, then I'm anticipating that. And then some of the adaptations I have heard of, but again, that are probably 100% not coming out this year, are for Legendborn by Tracy Deonn. I think that got picked up. Don't quote me on that. Pretty confident Children of Blood and Bone was also picked up, and I am looking forward to that. And then another one is Black Sun. Hell yes, it's going to be adapted. I really need that to not fall through because, like, I need it so bad. Like, I know that once it becomes reality, like, I'm going to be disturbed by the way that Serapio looks, and I will never be able to forget it, but I need it. I need it. So yeah, that's everything that comes off the top of my head. The 9th question is, what is your favorite bookish memory of last year? And definitely I have 2, so I'm going to cheat. And there's so many more, but 2 of the biggest ones is having met Steph from Coffee Over Apples. Like, literally we message each other nearly every day because I harass her all the time and she accepts that. I just love talking with her and just being ridiculous and absurd, and it's just so much fun to have a bookish friend like Steph, and honestly can't imagine my life without her now. She's just wonderful. And then the other one would be reaching out to my now book club co-hosts to start a book club. That was so nerve-wracking but also exciting when they agreed to join me to start the Haunted Corner book club. I'm so excited to read some horror books with them, and that is just, yeah, those are some of my favorite memories. But literally all the people I met last year on BookTube, it has been wonderful, wonderful, and I can't wait to make more bookish memories. The 10th and final question is, any carryovers from last year that you are bringing into the new year? So for me, I unofficially have Bunny by Mona Awad as one of the carryovers from last year because this was a soft DNF for me at the end of the year. I knew I wasn't going to finish it in time before the year ended, and I didn't want to start the year with something in my currently reading, so I just decided to stop reading this and pick it up when I felt in the mood to continue it. I think I got like halfway through it but I just kind of lost the vibe, the motivation to read it. So I'm hoping to continue it, but I was buddy reading this with my Discord group. I will link their channels down below. And it was a wild ride, and I was not mentally prepared to continue that wild ride. So eventually I will pick this up in 2022 and finish it. So yeah, that's it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you would like to follow me on any of my social media, I will have the links to that down below in the description. But for now, see you next time.